should do. First of all, I don't think any child ever learned anything filling out a bubble on a cheap standardized test. And we have this, and I've gone through this. Oh, by the way, I have a friend down south who has a different way of describing it. He says, you know, you don't make a hog fatter by waving. Now, come on, we're in Iowa, come on, come on. Some places in the country, if I say, some places in the country when I use that line, they just look at me like, what is that? What is that boy with the southern accent talking about? Here's what I would do. I would expand the criteria that are being used to evaluate kids. Instead of just such a narrow criteria, we should look at analytical skills, higher thinking skills. We need to stop treating teachers as potted plants in this process and make them integral to the evaluation process, and not just one group of third graders against another group of third graders. Instead, we ought to be looking at each individual student's progress from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, because that tells you what progress is actually being made by that student. And then, when we find a school that is in fact struggling, and we know there are some in America, we can't pretend it's not true, instead of punishing them, for goodness sakes, can we help those schools? Get them the resources and the expertise they need to turn those schools around? Now, let me say one last thing directly. I would dramatically change it to start with. But if that didn't work, I'd ditch it. I mean, it may be that this just can't be fixed. And if you look at what Bush is using this thing for, it's clear to me that he's using it as a pathway to privatizing the public schools. And so what we have to do is stop that, see if there's something here that's worth salvaging and we can make work. Because all of us want our schools to work, and we believe in accountability, at least I do. But if the thing doesn't work, and we make these changes and it doesn't work, we ought to get rid of it. We ought to start over. That's what I would do.